Let's take you down to my home province, and this is KwaZulu-Natal, and Nobuhle Modise is there at the Provincial Results Operations Centre. Nobuhle, what's the leaderboard looking like where you are?
The leaderboard obviously still has the MK party at the top. In second place, we do have the ANC, but it's trailing far behind the MK party at almost 270,000 votes behind. We then have in third place the IFP. Then after that, we have the DA, and the EFF is fifth. But interestingly, when we speak of smaller parties, the NFP is in sixth place at around just over 8,000 votes. Now, you'd remember that the NFP in the province, in the last elections, it couldn't contest because of internal party politics, but they are coming up nicely. It's still too early to tell, but it looks like some of those wards that they had, eyes for, they are seemingly, scooping them up. But after the NFP, interestingly, the ACDP is also coming up there. Following the ACDP, we do have an independent candidate who is scooping up the Indian vote, and that's Moodley TR. The Patriotic Alliance is also taking up a bit of a vote. So these are some of the smaller parties that are seeming to make inroads. But I actually do have with me Ndaba, who is the head of communications for the MK party. We've been struggling on the floor here to get the MK party. They've been busy, they've been up and down, obviously with a spring in their step because for obvious reasons. But I do have Ndaba Gcwabaza, who is the head of communications for the MK party. And firstly, let's start on how are we feeling about these interim results?
We are very elated about what we see in terms of the numbers that we've got. We're very thankful to the voters who have supported, who are supporting the MK party. And it is an expression of confidence in the MK party on the part of the voters. We are happy.
And then let's speak about the structures. Should things remain this way at the end of counting, are you guys going to go into a conference after these results?
We are going to the conference after the elections, and that's when the formal structures will be set up from national down to the branch level.
And obviously, a lot of people want to know about your policies. Some are arguing that there's not really much to them. Your response to this?
People would have heard what mandate we got from the population, not only of KZN but countrywide, and that is what was expressed in our rally. Basically, at the center of all of that, there are two very basic, very important issues. The first is the change of the Constitution, and therefore the amendment of the existing laws in line with the changing of the Constitution. The second, which is the center of the struggle for liberation, is land restoration to the indigenous and the black majority of this country who were dispossessed of their land in the past 450 years. And of course, the economic question. We're saying that the economy has got to be shared among the people of this country. It can't be a one-sided affair, and the large black majority remains as poor as they are, unemployed, and with very little hope of access to economic participation. That has got to change. And the MK party is the vehicle for that to happen. And that is why we have been gunning for a two-thirds majority, so that we are able to change the Constitution, amend the laws that are existing, move away from the Roman Dutch law into African indigenous law that speaks to the aspirations of the black majority in this country, Africans in particular.
And then bringing it back to KwaZulu-Natal, what particular wards were you looking to scoop, that you have scooped, that you're really proud of? I mean, we're still waiting for the metro, numbers from the metro to come in. Things could change, but what is that particular ward that you're saying, this is one we were gunning for and this is where we want to make improvements?
Look, we want to make improvements across KZN. Just in terms of service delivery, we've got to improve that on infrastructure, on water, on electricity, on roads, on education. All of that needs to improve. But that also speaks to what needs to change nationally.
Thank you very much. That is Ndaba Gcwabaza, who is the communications head of communications here in the KwaZulu-Natal province, just speaking mainly like on what most people want to know, the policies. He is highlighting the fact that they do want to amend the constitution. You heard him there also just speaking about, their elation in these interim results. Back to you, Iman.
Ndaba, thank you very much for that, and that's a very interesting thread that you're talking about. The fact that, there's not too much meat on the bone when it comes to the detail of their policies, which we discussed with their SG yesterday, Sihle Ngubane from the MK, that despite what we think is the absence of that detail, there is a vast and noteworthy support for the MK. So it will be interesting again to see some of the driving and motivating factors between why people place their ballot with MK.